Hey everybody, it's Lindy Tate from Taterbuggin. How are y'all doing today? Come on in. Let's chat a while. How about that? I am going to get us started down here because I don't want to miss your comments today and any questions you might have. Is that too bright? Ooh, I look bright down there. Hey Donna, come on in. Hey Betty and Carrie. Hey Patty. Oh, y'all just coming on in. Okay, look, I had to get your link ready. Okay. Hey Cindy. Oh, I hope it's a good day. I'm excited about this one. I hope y'all are too. Oh, good, Carrie. I'm glad you are. Hey, Sue. Lorianne. Oh, you're so sweet. Y'all are always so sweet. Thank you. This is one of my new ones. I love it. Hey, Jerry and Susan. Hey, Sharon. Love Tuesday Love so much. Oh, thank you, Carrie. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Hey, Rose. I've got so much to talk to y'all about. Hey, Melissa. Gail. Debbie. I don't want to miss anybody. There's Trish. Trish is here. I got to talk about her too. Why is that not rolling? Come on, let me scroll up. Hey, Debbie. And there's Janice. Okay, I didn't want to, let's see. Hey, there's another Debbie and Jody and Brenda. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's comfy. That's a big deal. You know, we get to be our age. Comfort, right? Hey, Carol. Children are growing right so much to the things you said. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Carrie. Hey, Jermaine. Hey, Jean. You know, I'm hoping I can keep it in an hour. Hey, Becky, I have trouble with that, don't I, y'all? Hey, Lori. Yes, let's talk about that. Hi, Beth and Nancy and Pam. Oh, y'all are coming in so fast. This is one of my, I've got on all Living to Love. What? What? Love and Life jewelry. Sorry. It's a day, huh? But I wear this one a lot. It's got these two hearts on it with some leather tied together. I love the leather piece added with the asymmetrical chain. But yes, this is one of my Love and Life jewelry pieces. And look, I got all bold here and I'm mixing, what is this? Is this leopard with giraffe print? I don't hate it. What do y'all think? I've always been a matchy-matchy. I thought I had to match everything, and Trisha has told me, no, you don't have to. So I'm just breaking out of all kinds of comfort zones. Rita, I'm so glad to hear that. Hey, Tammy and Tina. Thanks, Melanie. Hey, Cindy from Texas. Hi, Linda. Thanks, Mary Sue. Hey, Karen. Y'all, look. Beverly Atkinson, one of our sweet tater bugs, sent me, look what it is. It's a Taterbuggin mug with my logo on it. And she put her home state of Florida on the back. This just got here today. Hey, Cheryl. I know it goes by so fast and I have so much to say today. Queen of the Jungle, Jody. Now that fits. Thank you so much for those stars, Becky. So I hope y'all have gotten you something to drink, maybe a little snack if you're hungry, because we're just going to hang out and chit-chat. And I've got my notes all down, y'all. I've been trying to get it all together so that I can get it all out. Hey, Slow Jam. Hi, Jean. So I can get it all out and y'all can ask questions without taking up your whole entire rest of your day. So today, in case y'all, I'm going to let everybody get in before I really get started, but we're going to talk today about my art and business journey. We are getting new people every day and some may not know it. Even some of the ones who've been here for a while, following for a while, may not be aware of some of my journey. Some of this, I doubt I've even talked about ever before. So it's going to be a little bit of everything. Thank you, Judy, for the stars. Oh, y'all got a star party going. Hey, Linda. Yeah, the mug is so cute. that shirt. Oh, you got yours today, Holly. Oh, which ones did you order? I'm dying to hear. Oh, Beth, you're sweet. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but I know I have a lot of sweet friends here. Hey, Vicky. So, one of the things I wanted to tell you about, if you're here already and you're the first to know, tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock, now Mr. Taterbuggin will be going live at 5:30, but at 5 o'clock, we're going to have 5 ladder trays in our online shop. I will text first. So if you're on my texting service, you'll get a text. If you're not, get on there. It is 901-519-2666. And just text Tater. And it'll send you a confirmation. You confirm that you want to be on the list. Boom. You'll get text from me every time we go live. And every time we put something new in the online shop. So there's that. And second of all, I want to tell you, I posed another question to my sweet Taterbugs in the group today. And we talked about, for next month's class, you know, I try to launch a new paint party, like where it's right here. The Angel launched February 1st. It'll always be available. But March 1st, I want to have an online group for art journaling. We're going to take this whole journey together. I'll start you out showing you how to prep your composition book, your old hardcover book, if that's what you want to use, whatever you want to use for your art journaling journey, for your first one, because it's going to be the first of many. I know you're going to love it. And so we're just going to start by prepping the pages. I'll show you how to do that. And then I'm going to have maybe once a week prompts that just get your thought process going, and every one of them will look so different. You can share if you want your journal to be completely private. We respect that too, but we're going to do that. Hey, Dawn and Deborah. Thanks, Penny. And so, hey, Nilda. So, it's going to be fun. I'm so excited. I have all kinds of notes on that. I'm coming up with ideas. I'm doing my research. We'll research different kinds of media to use in your art journal. Now, all of this, I'll still be doing some of this live, but this group will just be a private group specifically for art journaling. And there was such a great response to Tuesday's live video, and y'all seemed so excited about it, and it seemed to really resonate with so many of you. I thought it was worthy of its own private class. So that's what we'll do. It'll be just a one-time fee of $10, lifetime access. That's all. I'm going to go through all of that with you, Carrie. I'm going to show y'all exactly how to prep those pages to accept whatever medium you're going to put on it, just like I did mine. We're just going to have so much fun. Hey, Mare. So that's the 2 announcements I had for today. Listen, if you have any questions during any of this, I'm going to try real hard to watch your comments for questions. But we're just let's just talk. We're going to talk about how I got started in this incredible journey that I'm on. And I'll tell you this, I prayed hard about this one because this is another one of those that, you know, leaves you a little vulnerable, but it's a new year, and I'm ready. We're stepping outside of comfort zones, and that's what I'm doing. So we're going to go all the way. Thank you for the stars, Judy. We're going to go all the way back to 1988. You're like, oh, Lindy, I cannot be here that long. Don't worry, I'm going to speed on through. Some of you may not know that I have a degree in journalism. Did I use it? No, I did not. I got all the way to, yes, Lori, that's right. I got all the way to the core classes, you know how college goes. You got those first couple of years of a lot of electives, and you're trying to figure out who you are and who you want to be when you grow up and all of that. I had no clue. I just promised my daddy I would get a degree. And he didn't make it to see me get that degree, but I felt him there that day that I graduated. So, hey, Charlene. So, by the time I got married when I was 21, I had not finished college yet, but I promised I would. And I had a sweet still have him. I kept him. He kept me. I have a husband who supported me in finishing college, which I did and worked part-time. I always worked through college. And so anyway, let's see. I graduated in May of 88. And Josh came along in January of 89. So I didn't know it when I graduated, but I was already carrying around a little tater tot. So we felt strongly that that we wanted for me to stay home for a certain amount of time to raise the boys. I wouldn't trade that time for anything in the world. It was wonderful. I loved it. And so got to be a full-time mommy and room mother and, do all the chaperoning on all the field trips and all of that. So fast forward to them going to middle school, my youngest starting middle school. And, we had sacrificed all that time on, we just had the one income from Gerald, and it was getting harder and harder in his industry. So I went back to school online to learn how to be a medical transcriptionist. I loved it. So I started that journey in 2000. They flew me to Wisconsin for training. I worked for a national company. Sometimes you may see Julie Olson. You'll see her name pop up. She was my trainer. We go back that far. And so I worked for that company for quite a while until I went with a local company. And I was a transcriptionist for 13 years. So while I was a transcriptionist, it was on New Year's Day, 9 years ago, that, again, I've always loved to craft. I love to create. I was not into painting yet. Yes, that's Chef Julie Penny. So I had not started to paint yet, but I love to craft. And I don't know where I saw it, probably Pinterest. I think was Pinterest around 9 years ago? Y'all help me out. I don't remember. Martha loves hearing you do the crafts. Oh, that makes me so happy, Janice. I'm not going to quit crafting. But I told y'all I'm in a transition period, and I'm going to kind of get to that in the end. Last week, well, I'm going to say since the first of the year, it's been hard. Of course, we've had a lot of outside things happen, like with my stepdad having a stroke and caring for elderly parents, and Mr. Taterbuggin had a scare. Our sweet Beau had a scare, and it's just kind of been one thing after another. And then I hit a roadblock. I'm going too fast. We're going to get back around to that. But anyway, New Year's Day, 9 years ago, I had seen this funny little doll, which I'm going to have to, let me just get it. Y'all, yeah, this is the original ugly doll. I should have had it on the table. This is not the way they ended up looking. There's a whole story behind this little guy. This is what launched everything. And little did I know, I was still an MT, but it was sleeting. It was New Year's Day. It was a gray, ugly day, and I just wanted to create something. It was my weekend. I was off work, obviously, and I had seen this weird little thing, and I thought, I wonder if I can recreate that. I'm not a seamstress, but I got my old sewing machine out, and I got out some fabric that I had on hand, some muslin, and this is what happened. Y'all, this is the very, very first ugly doll that I ever made. Right? Would you have ever thought something like this? If you look closely, look how many times I popped his seam trying to stuff him. I just had to stitch it up by hand. I don't even know what this is for his little hairs. buttons. And that night, when I finished him, he just tickled me. I thought he was hilarious. You do, Lynn. Yes, Lynn's followed me through. She's known me since before any of this. I went down a photography pathway. I love photography. I still love photography. I would love to do more with that one day too. Lots of dreams. But anyway, I thought this was so funny. I took a picture of it and I posted it on my Facebook page to my friends. And I said, what do I name him? Well, the one that won was Ugly, Ugglee. And actually it's Trisha's niece who named Ugly. Hey Gail, it just stuck. I knew instantly that's his name. Well, y'all, I want you to know that from looking at this, several people contacted me and said, I want one of those. And I looked at Gerald, I said, you're not gonna believe this. They want me to make these for him. And he said, you gotta be kidding me. I said, no. So I would ask them, like, what color heart do you want? Or, they started out just like this. So any of you out there who have one that looks like this, you go way back with me. Because from there, it grew. And I kept my MT job, but I was making ugly dolls. And as I went along, I thought, well, how could I improve on this? There was a lot of room for improvement with this guy. And I started making my own patterns. I would draw my own patterns out. I learned as I went. I bought cute buttons for eyes. People started donating buttons to me. Orders kept coming in. Could you do a this? Could you do a that? I went into owls. I did cats, an elephant. All I did was draw out my own pattern. I still have all the patterns and everything. I did SEC school themed dolls. Eventually I did add arms, and I decided I played with their hair. What would make good hair? I'd go through Hobby Lobby looking at notions and things, trying to decide, and the best one was feathers. And so I'd just get different feathers that would match the theme of their fabric. Susan, I wish. I should have patent. What do you do? Trademark, patent, copyright? I wish I had, because not long after I got out of the business and went into this one, the ugly dolls came about that you buy in the stores now. They don't really look like mine, but yeah. So, hey Susie. So I ended up getting to have my dolls in a couple of local gift shops. I traded my time one day a week working in the shop to have a little area where she would sell my dolls. And then there's another gift shop here locally she ordered ugly dolls, and she still orders. I'm working on an order from her right now, paintings and woodblock prints and all that stuff. So anyway, little by little, I stepped way out of my comfort zone, and I would actually, contact people and say, would you be interested in carrying my dolls in your shop? So 2 of them did. That was a huge step for me. I don't put myself out there like that, and I just felt like this is going to crush me. And I got a lot of no's. Let's be clear on that. I got a lot of no's, or it doesn't just doesn't fit. And hey, artists, what I may have to do one day is just unretire my sewing machine, and we'll just make an ugly doll together. I don't sell them anymore. They're retired. Everything's put away. I did save my fabric because I knew I'd still be crafting and I might need it. But a lot of the other stuff, yeah, I don't even have anymore. I kept my patterns. I wanted to have those. I had the sweetest, I still have them. They're still my friends. They just jumped in to help me when the orders got overwhelming. they'd call themselves the Ugly Elves. It was a thing, y'all. They would come over to my house. Stacy, yeah, I mean, you can hand stitch them. You sure could. It'd take a while. I kept popping my seams, you know, when I would stuff them. But they just kept evolving. And one of my ugly elves, Rhea, my bestie, Rhea, she's since moved to Clarksville. I miss her so much. Y'all may have seen her YouTube channel, but she was actually my trainer back then. I would go to the gym every day, and she was my trainer. She worked there, and she offered her services for free to any of us who wanted that. And that's the only way I'd ever have a trainer. And we just became fast friends. But she was so spot on with being able to create these cute, cute little outfits for them. I couldn't do that intricate sewing, you know, and Rhea she made an Elvis. I made the doll, and she put the white jumpsuit on him, and there were scrubs that she made for doctors and nurses. Yeah, Beth, from Clarksville. I love Clarksville. We've been to visit them a couple of times, and it's beautiful there. So anyway, Ugly Dolls took off enough that I was able to quit my job as an MT. Never ever did I think that could happen, but I was making enough money that I was, making enough that I could equal or better the amount I was making as an MT. Plus, my job was in jeopardy as an MT, like I told you Tuesday, because of voice recognition software. And doctors thought that would spit out a perfect report just by talking into it. And Siri has taught us, no, you need editors after that. Don't do that with somebody's medical reports. But oh, thank you, Marie. It's probably going to bore a lot of people to tears, but I just want the ones who want to be here, or who are supposed to be here and hear this story, because it might help you in some way. I don't know. Hey, Zine, how are you, sweet friend? So I'm busy with the Ugly Dolls, and it gave me time I had a sweet time with that group of friends, and my mother got to be involved. I watched my mother blossom around these sweet ladies, and we socialized all the time, but we were working while we did, and we had the best time. And every day in my memories on Facebook, there'll be a sweet memory of us working on these Ugly Dolls together, and they were just fantastic. Oh, Lori, you're sweet. Hi, June. That's generous of you. But during the time with Ugly Dolls, I started getting back to crafting or painting. I don't know. I can't remember what spurred me on. Probably the art journaling journey. I saw that on Pinterest, and I thought, I've got to try that. I was going through a rough patch in my life, y'all. I mean, some tough times, some tough things. And I've told you before, I've had anxiety all my life. I don't tend towards depression. Now, there can be times where my anxiety will take me into that, but that's never been my root cause. And so I would try to tell doctors about the anxiety, but when they see you put together with a smile on your face, you know, they're like, it's probably just depression, and they'd offer me a pill. I didn't really want a pill. So they would, is it no better? Yeah, you either had to transition into editing or coding, Melanie, and I just didn't feel led to do that. So I was thankful God brought along this other, Lee is here. Hey, Lee, from the Turquoise Valentine. There's my friend. I'm missing her too. We've got to get together. So doctors weren't listening to me. They'd try a pill on me, like an antidepressant. And I have trouble with medications, y'all. For the most part, I really, really do. It just wasn't working. And there's Moidle. Hey, Moidle. Yeah, so anyway, this was helping me. The art journaling, the time I got to spend with my friends, growing my business, and they were so willing to help me with it. And so I started playing with mixed media and just loved it. I loved it so much. And then I started painting. And I was going, my friend Joyce invited me and Rhea to go with her to Painting with a Twist. It's a sip and paint, place. They were popping up everywhere. And I told her, I said, I'll be happy to go, but they better have a stencil because I can't paint anything. And she wanted to go because it was a Memphis skyline with the bridge, which I thought was great. That sounded like fun. And we had the best time. Yes, they did have a stencil. And so we just had a great time. And what I found out that night, sitting there painting, is instead of me fretting over how it was going to look, I just relaxed. And I was just having a good time. And I thought, wow, that's Andrew's back. Hello, Andrew. I'm so glad you came back. I'm just talking again today, but we're going to get into some fun stuff. I'm letting you know how we're segueing into all of this. So, that paint party really, I loved it. And my sister-in-law, Anne-Marie, was coming into town. And you too, Janet. It must be a thing. What I found out is Anne-Marie was in town. I said, let's go to Painting with a Twist. And I drug Moidle along, kicking and screaming. Moidle, tell him you were. Now, it was so interesting to sit next to her to paint this picture. She was anxious. She was so worried. She couldn't stand it. She hated every minute of it. And I'm over there just, it's so fun and I'm so relaxed. And we were just opposite in that. And she not my deal, hated it. She did. I've got a picture of her. It showed up in my memories the other day. And she was making this face. I took a picture of her because she hated it. But God bless her, she was going for me. And Anne-Marie and I were just having the best time. So I kept telling her, I said, don't worry about it. Just paint. Just have fun. Now, she'll sit down and paint a piece of furniture. Voila. Redo a whole piece of furniture, and it relaxes her. She can paint a wall. It relaxes her. She loves that. Kills me dead to do that stuff. I don't like that kind of painting. So it's just so funny for us to do that and see how our brains are just wired differently, and that's okay. So I forced her into like 2 or 3 more painting parties. She went along with it reluctantly, but she went along with it. So back then, my group of friends, we would throw a big party for each other on our birthdays, and we'd all get together. And Joyce said, I'm going to host your 50th birthday party. So what do you want to do? It's up to you. And I said, I want to do a paint party, much to Moidle's chagrin. So, no, I don't mind you asking. We're just outside of Memphis, Tennessee, in a suburb. I mean, you could throw a rock to Memphis. So we're in Bartlett, Tennessee. And, oh, did you, Lynn? Oh, good. Yeah, she was there for the twist, because this is when it was all starting. And I thought, if something can relax me this much, it's worth pursuing. It's worth looking into. And again, I still have my business. I'm still working on that. And I just started painting. And I would post them to my Ugly Dolls page. And I started getting orders. They'd say, I want to buy that. And again, I was like, really? You want to buy this? Y'all, I'm not joking. Trisha can attest to this. I was at her house one afternoon, and we were just creating. You know, she's very creative too. And I had just brought my supplies over to, you know, I was hanging out with her. She's caring for her mother. And while her mother was taking a nap, we were in the kitchen and I was painting. And I literally we didn't have a lot of money. And so through art journaling, I learned you can use any surface you want. And we're going to explore that in the art journaling class or group. I should call it a group. I would cut up every box, every saltine cracker box, every cereal box, every Cheez-Its box. I would just cut them up and I had them all in a stack, and those were my surfaces. I just couldn't see me splurging on canvases at that point in our lives, or, you know, a lot of extra supplies. So I used what I had. So at Trish's house, I had a few of those pieces of boxes. And on one of them, I literally finger painted. I can't even remember what it was of. It was swirls. It was an abstract. I was just letting go. Are you, Anne? Oh, have fun. I can't wait to see post whatever you paint to our group, Sweet Tater Bugs group. I would love to see it. Yeah, the inside of those security envelopes. Yes, you just start using everything you can get your hands on, and they're pretty cool. You know, you turn trash into something valuable to somebody. That, when I posted that box top painting, well, first of all, that very day, I'll never forget that day. As I painted several things, at one point, Trish was sitting beside me. Now, she's known me since we were 13 years old. And she looked over and she looked up at me very serious and she goes, "Who are you?" And I said, "What do you mean?" Because we've known each other forever. And she said, "Where was this in you?" And I said, "I don't know. My dad painted, my dad drew. He was an incredible artist. He never thought he was good. He threw away way more than he ever kept. Thankfully, I dug some of those out and I still have them. Oh, Linda, it's pinned in the comments. It should be. Cindy, maybe help me. Does it show up at the bottom or at the top? But it is pinned. Yes, thank you. And there's a link and a discount code for you. So I kept, you know, Chris, my youngest son, was always very artistic. And I always told everybody it skipped a generation. You know, it was my dad and then Chris. Gerald is very artistic. So I felt like Chris got it from both sides, you know. So Trisha was just, she said, "Something's going on here. You know, you never have painted in your life. You don't draw, you don't." If I went back far enough, I remember in 4th grade art class, my teacher submitted one of my paintings of something. I can't even remember now. And it got me a blue ribbon in the arts and crafts fair. And I just kind of thought it was a fluke. You're in 4th grade, you know, you just, oh, wow, okay. But, so anyway, I started taking custom orders from people. They'd say, well, first of all, I wanted to explore painting on barnwood. And we lucked out, and there was a man who asked if we would take down his barn. We could have any of the wood. And we said, sure. You know, we worked hard. Jody and Julie worked hard at it. They used a lot of it on their cabin. I did, Lori, but I wasn't even thinking about that. I really wasn't. I just thought, you know, I was going on, I've got to make a living. You know, I've got to help Gerald out. And so in this phase of the journey, I started tater bugging. And I thought, I always said God has a sense of humor, because what took off was something that I sewed, and I hate sewing. I didn't like it in home ec. I got C's when I was an A and B student. Don't ask me to sew. I'd take it home and have my mama fix it. You know, it was just awful. And Mom thought it was hilarious that I ended up having a business, falling into a business where I was having to sew every day, all day. So anyway, the painting was doing it for me. I was painting. My favorite thing was silly animals. That's where it all started. And I would paint pigs and I would paint cows. And I was at a crossroads because Gerald's job was getting tougher and tougher on him, and the industry was just changing. It was so different than it had been when we married or when my kids were little, and so I had to go back to work, or I had to build a business that was gonna make more than I could make in a job. I am a 50-year-old woman who has no resume, who has a degree she's never used, and no real skills in the business world. So I knew I was looking at probably retail. I could possibly get maybe like a receptionist job. Not many people, I mean, when there are 20-year-olds who want that same job, you know, versus the 50-year-old, I was just at a crossroads. And so I kept telling Gerald, I said, I've got to get a job. I've got to help you out. And he would say, no, you're on to something. I believe in what you're doing. Stay the course. I believe this is going to pay off. And I had very trusted friends and family who I know were disappointed in me because I was not helping my husband. It looked like I was letting him flounder and I was just staying home and painting. And behind the scenes, I was working my behind off and trying to learn more every day and learn how to not just sell out of the outside of the house. I mean, I was on Facebook. I was selling, started my business page, switched over. You know, I didn't shut down Ugly Dolls. You can still go look that up. But I started the Tater Buggin' page. I named it Tater Buggin'. He worked in the car industry, in the service end. He was the service manager when we got married and for a lot of years after we married. And the stress of that position was really hard on him as he got older, and the industry was changing. People were changing. It was just a whole different story than back in 1986, 85, 86, when we married. And so he decided to back off and became a service writer. He would be the man that you would see when you drove into the dealership to get service done on your car. He would, write it out. He knew he knows cars inside and out. We're talking about you right now. This is part of your journey in this. Do you want to say hello? We're going to take a brief intermission. I'll drink a sip of my coffee while...
Hey, everybody.
Well, I understood him, Lori. I did. And I would cry and cry to Gerald and say, I can't bear that they think I'm letting you down. That's what hurt me so much, that I'm not helping my husband. But he kept telling me, no, I don't want you to do that. I need you to pursue this. And he thought he could never retire in that business. There's no retirement in that business. It's all commission.
You die at your desk.
And he said, I will die on the service drive of a car dealership. And I thought, not if I can help it, you won't. So either I'm going to go back and figure out how to get a job at this age and this stage in my life and try to grow that way, or I'm going to keep going where I'm going. And every time I would say, I'm going, I've got to do this, he'd say no. And Dolly said, how are you so how are you handsome? I thought she said, how are you so handsome? Either one. He is, Lori, and I wouldn't be doing this if not for him.
She has a skill that she needed to pursue. That's all I had to say.
He believed in me. He had
I
faith in me. And so we would go occasionally and have brunch at a place called Brother Juniper's. And it's over by University of Memphis. And it's been in Southern Living. Rachel Ray has talked about it. It's been voted the best breakfast place in Memphis umpteen zillion years. And it's a family-owned business. And we saw art on the walls. And I do know what it was. It was God, because they had gotten to where they just loved this one. So much so that he told the owner one day, Jonathan, it is hot back there in that back room you put us in. Your air conditioning isn't working. Hey, sis, I was talking about you earlier and your part in this journey.
Hey, Anne-Marie.
So, lo and behold.
Hey, everybody. I see your names there. I didn't want to interrupt Lindy.
They thought so much of Gerald, and we were regulars, that the next time we came in, he said, I want you to know you cost me an air conditioning unit. I put an air conditioning unit in that back room for you. So they were talking about that after we had eaten. We're just standing there talking, and it came out of my mouth before I could catch the words and put it back in. And I said, how do you get your art on the wall in here? And it came out, and I thought, who said that? Oh, and he looked right at me. The owner of the place looked right at me seriously, and he said, who's the artist? I had never called myself an artist. I wasn't about to call myself an artist. And I just thought, oh yeah, Lindy, now you put your foot right in your mouth. And I looked at him and I said, well, I guess it's me. And he said, why don't you bring me some of your work? Let's see what we can do. Come to find out, it was an art gallery that handled all the art on the wall. He had nothing to do with it. He let them have that wall space. And but he told me when I came back one morning when it wasn't busy and brought a sample of my crazy animals on wood and all. And he said, I'll give you this wall. And he said, I want 30%. And I thought, that's incredibly generous. I mean, as a commission, that's usually the norm, 70-30. With the art gallery, it was 50-50. I wouldn't have made a dime because I was keeping my prices low so that I could sell more. And he told me, you have to keep up with it. I said, yes, sir, I'll do it. And we still have art in that restaurant now. And he has retired and his son took over. And I need to fill that wall up again. So y'all are going to be part of that journey too.
Yeah, I'm going to leave you to it.
Well, real quick, tell them what you're cooking tomorrow night while you're here.
Supper. We are going to have, we're going to do some breakfast things, some real simple things. We're going to do some surprise biscuit muffins. And we're also going to do some monkey bread.
Monkey bread.
For those of you that have never had it, and for those of you that have had, you probably, there's 100 different recipes out there for it. But
there's going to be breakfast for dinner tomorrow night, and I love that.
Yep.
Sounded just like Chris.
No, Chris sounds just like me.
It's called Brother Juniper's, Lana. Look up Brother Juniper's.
Can we post the recipes ahead of time?
We'll have to ask him. There's going to be a sweet and a savory.
That's up to her.
He took pity on me that night. He did 3 recipes, and I was in the worst of my slump. And he, bless him, he typed them all up. So yeah, so you're wanting to cook along with him? We could do that.
It's a simple little breakfast, nothing elaborate.
From my mama, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be good though. These so he practiced on me today at lunch, and they're so good.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna leave you to it. See you tomorrow night.
All right, see ya. So, anyway, fast forward. I'm trying to make this work, and I thought, well, I'm just going to start listening to whatever's out there, whatever opportunities I can find to get my art in as many places as possible. You know, you want those different streams of income. Julie talked me into getting a booth at Southern Vintage, and the only way I would do it is if she would do it with me. Bless her heart. Yes, we do, Julie. We sure do. And y'all may get a bonus live video with me and Moidle this weekend, by the way. Not even going to announce that part yet because I got to discuss with her some more. But anyway, that's a possibility. Because Sunday's Super Bowl Sunday, and I know y'all don't want to watch me do anything when there's the big football game on. Y'all got parties to do. So I probably won't go live Super Bowl Sunday. Sorry, I got a text. I am LaDonna. You're so right. You are so right. And had that much faith in me. There was another restaurant that posted on Facebook. People tagged me in it. It's in the Cooper Young district of Memphis, right in the heart, Midtown Memphis. Really cool restaurant, Stone Soup Cafe. Had been there for a long, long time. We had eaten there. And so they put out a call for local artists. They wanted to hang local artists' work on the walls for sale. And so I kind of got my portfolio together on my iPad and set up a meeting with, sometimes you'll see Tamala Thompson on our lives. It was Tammy. So these sweet people have stayed with me through all of this. She gave me a wall right away in the main dining room. There's been God's favor all through this journey. Oh, y'all are sweet. You would watch us even on Super Bowl Sunday. Oh, I'm not a football person. I don't even know who's playing. Don't tell anybody that. But yeah. So, by this time now I've got Brother Juniper's, I've got Stone Soup Cafe, and I've got a booth. So we're getting somewhere, and it's about that time that people started saying, would you paint my dog? And I guess somebody was persistent. I don't know how I ever agreed to that, because that is so much stress on me, because I just love dogs so hard. We love our animals. If somebody loves their animal so much that they want a portrait made of them on barnwood and will pay the money for it, I'm worried that I can't do it justice. I love this little nugget down here, but man, that chewing, where is he? Which side is he on? There he is. He chooses to get right there and chew that bone every time I go live. So, he made me lose my train of thought. So, I started doing art festivals, craft shows. Boy, I did not like that part. I'm going to be honest. Once we got there and were set up, I loved it. I loved sitting there talking to the people. I loved sitting in the background when they didn't know I was the artist and watch them walk up and hear what they would say about things. My favorite thing was when they would walk up and see my animals and a big smile would spread across their face. Surely Dana, surely you're talking about the turquoise Valentine. You're talking about Lee, right? Because I don't think I'm on Brooke's radar. I'm small beans. Yeah. So, yeah, thank the Lord for Moidle, because she and Jody would come help us set up, especially for all these big ones. Like, we did the Cooper Young Festival. What was it, Moidle? Twice? Oh, it's always in the heat. It's so hot in Memphis, and it's the biggest art festival. There's artists, there's a little bit of everything at that one, and it draws a very eclectic crowd, let me tell you. And it goes from 7 in the morning to, it would be like 10 o'clock at night before we could get unloaded and out of there. It was such hard work. Was it great money? Mm-hmm. That one was. But some of them, you do all that work and you wouldn't make anything. And that's when it was soul crushing. So I can show you. Yes, I'd be happy to show you some of my animal portraits, Nelda. I'll post some of those. In fact, if you go on my Pinterest board, you'll see art by Taterbuggin. You'll see pet portraits by Lindy Tate. I have a whole board of them. And I have a house portraits board because it went into that too. And I was making money that way. I was actually getting somewhere. Was I stressed? Mm-hmm. Because I had to create every piece of art. I was constantly trying to learn ways where I could grow somehow without killing myself. I kept bumping my head on this ceiling of what can one person produce, and that capture income right there. So I was limited by how much I could produce, and sweet friends were like, I would help you, but I don't paint. It's really all on you at that point. So Moidle would help me with these craft fairs and things like that. But other than that, it was up to me to make all the inventory. Gerald was still working. So he was working 12-hour days, still working really hard. Yeah, I would love to share those with y'all. I've painted more than I ever dreamed I ever could have. I've got lots of years of those. And y'all, when it would get to be about August, I knew from August till Christmas Eve. It was literally Christmas Eve because there would be local orders. I had so many custom orders that I didn't get to go Christmas shopping. I didn't get to do the fun Christmas things, that you normally get to do. I was painting nonstop. It's my Pinterest name is Lindy T. Tate, but I believe you could probably search Taterbuggin and probably find my art that way. So anyway, I'm in another dilemma, and I was constantly searching for ways to grow without killing myself. Well, I'm going to leave any names out here, but this happened a couple of times. There would be people that would come along and see this growing business. They would meet us at festivals and talk to me. Now, some of them panned out. For instance, one of them was the woman in charge of the Peabody. They have what they called, vestibules. It's a lighted cabinet, and they're all around the lobby of the Peabody. And the Peabody is a very famous hotel. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it from around the country. If you come to Memphis, you want to tour the Peabody. They have the Parade of the Ducks. That's not the right word, parade. March of the Ducks, the duck handler would go up to the top, get the ducks down. You watch them come off the elevator and into their little fountain every day in the lobby of the Peabody. It was a whole event every day at the Peabody. Well, she contacted me about renting a vestibule, and I could sell my art out of that. It was a lot of exposure. It was a high honor to me to even be asked to do this. So we took that leap of faith, and we did it for a year. It was well worth it. They gave me the vestibule right off that elevator where the ducks go by every day. It couldn't have been a better location. So that one panned out. And then we would have others that would come along and promise the world. One wanted to market me and had these lofty dreams. We spent a lot of time in meetings, and he had a lot of promises, and fell short, and it was very young and trying to start out, after his daddy on his own. And it failed. It was nerve-wracking for me. By this point, this is my baby. And I had to sit him down and explain this to him. I said, I'm entrusting you with, in essence, it's my child, one of my children. I felt that strongly about my business, and I had control of it. I did not know I was a control freak, but apparently I am. And he wanted me to give control to him, and that was not happening, and we butted heads. And he would beg his way back and then fail again and then disappeared on me. And it was disheartening to me, and I would, tell Gerald, I thought I was getting somewhere. I thought this was going to be the thing that was going to help me step outside of this and grow to where I'm not killing myself all the time. And I would be devastated every time a door like that would just slam in my face and was out of my control, and I couldn't do anything about it. And I can look back on it now, and God was protecting me, and that was not supposed to happen. And every time I got discouraged and disappointed and doors slammed in my face, it never was long before another better one opened. And Gerald and I can say, oh my goodness, if I had done that, I wouldn't get this. And this is so much better. And you have a few of those. And this is for any of you who are thinking about, running your own business like this. There's going to be lots of doors slammed. And if you can get past that disappointment over and over and know, after it happens a few times, you're going to get to look back and see this path really clearly and know, okay, that door just closed. That's okay. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to sweat that, because there's a better one coming along and I'm ready for it. Let me just get ready. And so I can clearly see God's hand in this whole journey. This is not me. I will never say that I'm any part of this. I'm just the vessel, and why he chose me for this journey, I don't know, but I want to be a good steward of it. And so, and this fits right here, right now. If y'all, I'm sure you follow Angela from Word and Home. She's precious, a sweet, sweet friend. Her post this morning of her devotional was so much confirmation to me in this afternoon. I took this seriously when my friend Elizabeth suggested, when I was going through this bad transition phase a week or so ago, she said, Lindy, I think you need to tell your story. I was like, what? She said, no, I think it's worth it. I think you need to tell your story. She said, if you need me to be there and interview you to ask you the questions, I will. She's going through a week right now too, y'all. She's got a lot, and she offered to do that, and I was not going to put her through that. I said, no, I will sit down. I will write out my notes. I'll do this, because I saw where she was going with it. She talked me into it like Elizabeth does a lot of the time. And then Trish confirmed it Sunday. I talked with her about it. So then Angela this morning posts her devotional. It was about talking to the Lord about your dreams. He wants to know your dreams, but you have to know that you can't be in a hurry with it. Here I was, 50 years old, struggling. We need the income now, or I've got to go back to work, and I'm, kind of pushing God. Okay, if I'm supposed to do this, make it happen, please. But you can't do it. It's got to be in His time, and His time is perfect. And that's what her devotional was about, that the doors will close. Some are going to slam. You're going to fall down. You're going to have to get back up again. And sometimes getting back up was so hard. One of my worst, and I hadn't even written this down, this just came to me, and this was over the pet portraits. A local gift shop, the owner she's just a precious friend, and I'm working on another order for them right now. She believed in my pet portraits so much in the early stages when they were very rudimentary. I mean, I was just learning. She said, Lindy, I want to put one in the front of my store and take orders for you, for my customers. Oh, that was a big step. I said, okay. She was kind enough to post that picture of my example pet portrait that I had done for her, of her son's dog, which he loved, and it was just a special, special thing. But I felt like, oh, you're putting this piece of my soul out there to the world. They don't know me, they don't care about me. The comments were brutal. They cut me to my core. I texted her and I said, will you please take that down? I can't do it. I can't take this. I cried to Trisha. I spent an entire day in that bed in the dark crying. I thought, this is it. I can't do this. I'm not cut out for this. It's Word and Home. Cindy, could you pop that link of Word and Home? If poor Cindy isn't feeling well and she's having to do all this work, but she's so good at it. Betty, you're here too. Yes, thank you. Before I could get it out of my mouth, I was saying Betty. Yes. The sweet store owner friend commented back to the ugly messages. She didn't have to do that. She stood up for me to her customers. And I said I still need that to come down. I'm too vulnerable, and this hurts my heart too much. They're right. I told Gerald, I said, they're right. It's horrible. I'm not good enough to do this. And the owner said, don't you ever believe that. She said, this is going to go well. It's going to be good. So I still did it. I just made her take the post down. And I vowed to get better at it. If I was going to put myself out there, I was going to learn to do it better. And I worked on that. The Pinterest name, I believe it's under Lindy T. Tate, but I do think you could search Pinterest for tater bugging and probably find it. For less than a year, I love to craft and a lot of you. So it really speaks to me. I'm so glad, Karen. That's why I wanted to do this. And I'm glad I did the art journaling live Tuesday first, because the way y'all received it, oh my goodness, it just was confirmation to my heart that it's okay for me to share things like this with y'all, and that it'll be okay. And the ones who want to hear it will hear it, and those who don't have to watch it, and that's okay. So there I am, kind of at the top of what I could do. And then 2020 hit. 2019, I managed to get through that Christmas, and I told Gerald, I said, I don't want to do this next Christmas. I don't want to have to paint pet portraits and stress up to the 9th hour that I'm going to get these Christmas gifts done, or that I'm going to have it done right. And it was just killing me. It really was. It was wearing on me. And 2020 hit. And we all know what happened there. So while we were in our homes, I have to watch how I word this, and we couldn't go anywhere, I thought, you know what? There's something I could give back. There is something I could give back. And I looked into doing Facebook Live. And I thought, why don't we have weekly paint parties? And we just paint fun things. And Chris and Gerald were both stuck here too. And so let me get where the timeline right. 2020. Yeah, okay. So he was home. And the three of us, Chris sat in on some of them. We would do paint parties. And I don't know, I had a handful of people there. I didn't know what I was doing. The camera angles are awful. The lighting's awful. I didn't have this studio yet. I was still in a bedroom in my house. And Lee, well, let me go back to Elizabeth. Elizabeth and I have known each other since grade school. We had, lost contact through our adult years, but came back together on Facebook. Well, I started doing these. Thank you, Cindy, for posting that. There's the pet portraits board, and if you can find your way to my Pinterest boards, there's also a house portrait board. I would put them on there, kind of like I could have a place for my portfolio, and it's not all of them. I probably have a million more I could put up there, but it was time consuming. So thank you, Carly. So I told Gerald I really worried with this illness that had taken over our country. I said, this could be the death of my business. What if I get that and nobody wants to order from me anymore? We didn't know what we were faced with. We didn't know how bad this was going to be. I was petrified. That had always been one of my biggest fears, was that I would have to live through pandemic. And here I was. And the anxiety was bad. And back to Elizabeth, she messaged me and Lee one day. And she said, I want you two to meet each other. Because you two remind me so much of each other. And I think you'd be great friends. So I got to meet Lee. Well, Lee comes on. She says, I've been following you for about 5 years. I was like, what? And, she was fairly new in her business when we met. And she was doing lives. And she said, the group I'm in, Simple Treasures Crafters Circle, needs another crafter. And I thought, well, I mostly paint. I don't know if I can do that. And yes, Kim. That one stumped me so hard. It was a negative image. And so I did the drawing and I tried to paint it and my brain wouldn't go that way, but Gerald's did. And we collaborated for Kim's boot drawing. So that was fun. A lot of people had believed in me when I told them I flat out I can't do that, but they'd say, no, I want you to anyway. And I'd have to figure it out or get Gerald to help me. So anyway, I joined the Simple Treasures Crafters Circle. Lee and I became fast friends. We had a lot in common. We enjoyed talking to each other. And I started watching all these ladies, go live and craft. And I thought, I get to go back into crafting. I didn't have time for that. I was too busy trying to earn a living painting and didn't have any time for that. And I missed it. At that point in my life, I welcomed this new opportunity. And so I made this whole new group of sweet friends who I still have. And I got to grow, with y'all through this whole new journey. And was it hard? Oh, that was a transition right there. But I felt that it was where I was supposed to go. So that was the next step. And I guess through all of these transitions, it was funny. This one, I don't know, this one snuck up on me because I was just going along and, I would have several lives planned, possibilities, that I might want to do with y'all live. And if I woke up that morning and I didn't feel like that's really what I was excited about or what I was supposed to do that day, I have to figure out what I was excited about. And, I've talked with friends that do this and they say, yeah, there's a lot of times it's an hour before I go live and I don't know what I'm doing. And that, I like to at least have a plan. It makes me a little anxious. And if we change the plan, give me a minute and I'll get there. But it's painful for me. Again, goes down to control. So in all of these different processes, I had to learn to surrender that control because God was gonna make it happen if I would just listen to him. And so I would listen to him. I'm not supposed to do that today, am I? well, you got to help me. What am I supposed to do today? You know, I don't know. Well, that got to be harder and harder. And within the past couple of weeks, I was struggling more and more with my lives. And I would find something that really excited me, like the mixed media. And I thought, I haven't done mixed media in so long. Wonder what they think of that. Will they think I'm crazy? I don't know. Y'all were gracious. You were so wonderful to go along with that. And some of you, it even sparked this new creativity inside you. It really resonated with you, and you got into that mixed media. Or I could pull something out like this. I'm backwards. This crazy girl right back here last week. I had never done anything like that in my life, but I saw something on Pinterest that made me think about it, and then I took it that next step further, and y'all loved it. You enjoyed it. It was a whole new thing for you. So nothing would come to me. And I told Elizabeth and Lee, I said, I am in my biggest slump. And I got really down about it. It's scary. It's sad. I thought, Lord, are you taking me out of this? I don't want to leave this. This is what I love, and I love this journey you're taking me on. And not out of the blue, Elizabeth was kind of she was texting with me, and she said, well, what is it? What is this? She asked the right questions, and I would answer, and she said, honey, you're going through a transition again. And I thought, really? What? No, I don't want to do that. I like where I am. And she said, I really believe you're in a transition phase again. You need to journal. You need to talk to God. Find out where it is He wants you to go. She said, because I see you come to life with the things you love to do. She said, when you did mixed media, your excitement over it excited me. And she said, there's something to that. And that's when she told me, I think you need to tell everybody your journey. And so that was about a little less than a week ago. That was last Saturday. And I sat in my chair crying off and on all day long Saturday. I'm going to admit, between all the changes next door with my parents that just so suddenly overnight happened to us, an overnight scare with Mr. Taterbuggin, my dog's in trouble, and as of last week, Chris was really sick, and I don't know, Lori. I'm seeing what God has. I believe that's part of that's what's happening. So I was sad. I was just sad. I felt like, okay, so many changes just since the first of the year. God, why so much? And why are you going to take me out of this? And please don't take my sweet friends away from me. I want to keep doing this. This is what allowed Mr. Taterbuggin to retire a year ago in November. Growing this business, meeting all of you, having an online shop, having other streams of income, made it to where he could retire. And this is our livelihood. I had a chat with a sweet, sweet taterbug. She wasn't fussing at me in any way, but she was just saying, please always stay true to yourself, and don't I don't know how she put it. It was in the very best way, but in other words, don't grow out of yourself and make it where it's too expensive for us to spend time with you. There are that's never been mine and Gerald's goal. Should it be? Should we have that ambition to grow up to that level? Yes. I don't have it yet. I don't feel like that's my path yet. I get fussed at a lot that I don't charge enough for my art or for my products, but I'd rather make them more available to more people and sell more. So I'm always going to try to keep it reasonable. And for right now, I'm not going to say never, but for right now, just offering a monthly nominal paint party that's available throughout the year indefinitely, that y'all can do on your own, is where I feel in my heart I'm supposed to be. And Gerald and I have talked about it. As long as we can pay the bills and eat and maybe have a little left over, because we have never ever had that. We have pinched every penny. You can ask Trish. Trish and Moidle have always gotten so mad at me because I am so practical, and I won't, I've just watched every dime, because I never felt like it was my money to spend, even though he said it was. He earned it. And I know that's not the case, and that was not from him. That was just from inside of me. So that's where we are right now. And once I understood this is not a transition out of what I'm doing now, but it's a transition into what I'm offering to you, all of a sudden, instantly, I got so excited, and I started thinking about, okay, so what does that mean? What excites me? What could I do that y'all are going to enjoy? And there's always that fear that, well, that follower count's going to drop, and you're going to lose a lot of people. It's a risk I have to take, because I feel like that's the way God's leading me right now. This falls along the same type of transition period, that just like that day in the bed after somebody was so ugly to me in the comments of that gift shop. That was a transition phase. That's a Lindy, get back up out of that bed, quit crying, and learn how to do it better. If that bothers you, learn how to do it better, or develop a thick enough skin that you will be proud enough of your art that you will defend it, because I wouldn't defend my art then. And today, I will defend my art. I will defend your art. Art is subjective. Nobody else has to like it. Nobody else has to think it's good. If I, think about Picasso and a nose and an eye but there's that, and so anyway, we're in a transition phase, and I'm going to bring to you what is exciting to me. Today, the idea for the art journaling group came to me in the shower. I thought, I wonder if we could do this, and this. We could have prompts. We could, and it could be, oh, I just love you too, Miss Gail. Thank you so much. Thank you, Belinda. Oh, y'all are so sweet. I love y'all so. Oh, Holly, thank you. So that's my heart. And when I posed that question to the Sweet Tater Bugs, so many of you were like, yes, I'm in. Let's do this. Well, March 1st, we are going to have an art journaling journey with Tater Bugging Group. It will be indefinite. We'll keep journeying through that. It's if you don't feel led to do art journaling, great. I have paint parties. I have lives that I'll do other things. We're going to explore in my lives different mediums. I brought neurographic art to you. I really thought y'all were going to really think I had gone off my rocker on that one, but it spoke to so many of you the way it spoke to me. So I'm just going to start following my heart more. And I'm always open. There's Miss Judy. I was just talking about the Simple Treasures, my friends from Simple Treasures, Judy. I'm so glad you're here. So I've been blessed along the way, too, that a couple of companies have reached out to me and said, we love your following. Would you be willing to try our product? Every time I will tell them yes. Well, depending on what the product is. If it's something I'm not interested in, we just don't go there. If it doesn't make sense to me personally, I'm not going to do it. But I do tell the companies on the front end, if I try it and I'm not happy with it, or I don't think it's worthy of them, they come first. But if I do like your product, yes, I'll be more than willing to work with you, which means getting an affiliate link for y'all. So yes, I'll get it depends from company to company, what you earn. But I've always trusted that you would trust me not to bring you something that I didn't believe in. And so far, you have, and I appreciate that. So know that in the future. If I ever come to you with an affiliate link for something else, know that before that happens, I've tried it and I love it and I believe in it. If I give you a review for a product, every now and then a company will just send me, like right now, it's body butter. I got a thing of body butter just to do a review on it. And those reviews are honest. I will tell them if I don't like it. No, that didn't work for me. Yes, Libby, exactly. If your big girl panties don't do the job, pull out the granny bloomers. I need that, yes. Some days I need to just get the granny bloomers out because, woo, can I have a pity party? Let me tell you what. So, if you decide to do something like this with your life and your journey and you feel led to do it, I say jump on in there. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how not good you think you are. Do it. And let me tell you, I've been doing this now, like I said, for 9 years. And it's a long, hard road. There's nothing easy about it because it's all on your shoulders. And so you have to do it. You got to have a good support system, people who have faith in you. And I believe we can be that here too. I see so much talent in this group. When y'all post in Sweet Tater Bugs, when you post in in every paint class, we have a private group where you're free to share your paintings, and so we can all encourage each other. And if they don't like it well enough, I will give them constructive criticism. I'll tell them what was great about their painting. I'll tell them what they could work on a little bit more. Because I think that's how we grow. That's what helped me. So I need somebody to tell me, Lindy, that's not dark enough. And I had Trish for that. I had Moidle for that. I had Gerald for that. I would send them pictures of my paintings and I'd say, something's off about this. Can you look at it with fresh eyes? And they could tell me, the eyeballs are too big or nose isn't right. And I could change it then. So I've been doing this long enough that I can help y'all with things like that. I can tell you the tricks that worked for me. So we're still going to be live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. What I bring to you may be a little bit different. There will be crafts in there. I'll wake up one day and go, I got to do this craft with them. Or I may have this new medium that I've tried and I just want to show it to y'all. And or if something comes along that you want me to try and give you a review on so that I can spend my money before you have to spend yours, I'll do that and you'll get an honest review, believe me, because I know about saving money. So yeah, that's my story. I think I've hit all the high spots. And I mentioned Simple Treasures. I got to a point in the summer, there had been things in my personal life that I was having to do, and there were new events coming up, and I was trying to keep my live schedule and do the events and do them well. And I just told them I needed to step out for a little while because I didn't want to let them down in their events or anything. So I backed out of that. Are we all still friends? Yes. I love those ladies. And I loved that season in my journey. That was a big part of my journey, to be a part of that group. So you'll still see I'm friends with all of them. Learn through Lee, I absolutely love also. Oh, Oh, see, I get messages and comments like y'all send me, and when I say it, I truly mean it. Your messages like that, messages about how a new technique or something inspired you or where you are in your life, and I don't, first of all, the first thing I feel is honored that God used me that way because it was Him and not me. It's just like this morning I had to take my mama to her hair appointment, and I told her it was such a beautiful day. I was just going to sit in the car and work. I wanted to prepare for today. And so the first thing I felt led to do was write out my prayer for today. I've never written out a prayer for a live before. I say them usually before every live, but this one was really important to me, and I wanted to get my thoughts and words together, and I wanted to be on track with what He wanted me to say to y'all. One thing I always pray is, please bring me the people who are supposed to be here today to see this, and please speak through me. Please help me to bring joy, encouragement, kindness, entertainment of some sort for the period I'm supposed to be on there with them. That's what I always say. So it was that, and it expanded for today. But so some of the things I may bring you are off the wall, but just know that it sparked something in me, just like the art journaling did. So is there anything, are there any questions, anything I could answer? I'll go back and, look at the comments. It's hard for me to get to see all the comments, and I try so hard. If I watch it back live and I play it with real-time comments scrolling, it won't let me comment back to you that way. But if I go to read the comments while without the video going, it'll only let me see most relevant, and I don't know who is deciding which is most relevant because I want to see all of them. But you do, Leanne. I'm so glad. Well, y'all have proven to me that I can be vulnerable with you, and you're very gracious with me. You allow me to be that way, or I wouldn't be able to have the courage to do this today. And if it helped one of you, then I'm great. I'm great with that. I don't know how this could help, but I hope it did. The art journaling one-time fee will be $10, just like most of my other classes. But it will be ongoing, just like lettering has been going on for over a year. And I am going to take the time, make the time to get back in that class too and do some more videos for that one. Most of them are just, paintings like this one where it's an instructional video. You can ask questions in the group. I pre-shoot it now. But things like the lettering and the art journal, it's going to be an ongoing. It's where I feel led right now too. Yes, I'm going to still do crafts, Pat. I think crafting, it just meshes. Right now, I'm kind of going back toward my art more. I'm leaning more to that. So I will never say, okay, from here on out, I'm just doing art. I'm not going to do anything that concrete because God has shown me he's we're weaving. I don't know. I'm just going by where I'm led. And I've learned to surrender and listen to that, even though sometimes I cry and I get depressed. I have great friends that help me through that when the curtain closes and I can't see it for myself. So He's brought me those too. When was I a medical transcriptionist? From 2000 to 2013. That's when I was. Y'all, Sherry, you say that y'all are far more of a blessing to me than I could ever be to you. I promise you that. I promise you that. Oh, Michelle, thank you for that's so sweet of you. See, I just love y'all so much. Art, painting, mixed media. You would, Carol? Yay. Oh, Tammy. I made it through without crying, I think. I haven't cried yet, so don't y'all make me cry. I've been doing a lot of crying lately, live and not. And If you were watching last Friday night, it was very unfortunate how it all went down. But yeah, I was just in a low spot. And I think that a bad comment came along, whether it was misconstrued or not. And it kind of snowballed. And I ended up crying. I just didn't like, I just want happiness. I just want y'all to be happy. I don't want any discord. Brenda, I sure will. For art, thank you so much, Carol. Oh, thank you, Linda. Brenda, really, if you go back, if you haven't seen my art journaling video from Tuesday, be sure to watch that. Share it with your friends who you think might want to take this journey with us starting March 1st. Again, when I did Tuesday's live, I did not know that's where God had me headed. That's what I get so excited every day. I'm like, what are we doing today? What you got for me today? Because I don't ever know, apparently, anymore. So you can get an old vintage hardback book. It doesn't even have to be a hardback book. Go get a 50-cent composition book. Go start with cutting up your boxes that you have. Use cardboard. I made a couple of my own art journals. I posted a picture of the cover of it. The cover is literally a folded cereal box. I covered it with scrapbook paper. I did the binding. I added the pages inside. So you can make your own out of what you have on hand. We're going to talk about how to prep the pages to receive whatever medium you're going to put on it. And then I'm going to give you prompts, fun prompts, that are going to be, some will be silly, because that's how I did my art journaling. There would be a prompt that would be like, what? And I would go with it. One thing I do want to share with y'all that I forgot to share, JP, I don't have it in the online shop yet, but I'm going to set it all up and get it ready so that we'll be sure to start March 1st. Here we are. I woke up and it's almost the middle of February, and we've got March coming. So I'll let you know for sure when it's in the shop, so you can sign up if you want to. Yeah, you can watch it over and over. You'll have access to all the videos that we do in there. I might go live in there. I might pre-record videos for you in there. I will do weekly prompts. I thought it might be good to give you a week to kind of ponder that prompt and play with it, and maybe do it several different ways. And if you, it's taterbuggin.myshopify.com. That's where it is. We got all kinds of things in there. There's lots and lots of things in there. Oh, thank you, JP. I hope so. How do we find out about lettering? Elaine, that is already in my shop. I started that a year ago, January, and I do want to reorganize it. Facebook makes it a little hard. I do everything online on my laptop, and a lot of you, I've learned, use the app with your phone or your tablet, and it looks totally different than if you use a laptop or a computer. If you're on a computer, you can simply click the media tab at the top. It'll take you straight to all the videos. But you don't have that in the app. So it's a little bit harder to navigate that way. So I'll tell you that ahead of time before you sign up. I'm going to try to learn ways to reorganize that and make it more concise, where if you're on the app, you can find the elements you need faster. But that's something I'm going to devote to the art journaling class as well. Because there'll be a lot of information. That will be it'll be an ongoing class. It's more of a journey. We're going to do this together. I'm not necessarily teaching it. I'm leading it. I'll teach you how to prep your pages. I'll give you the prompts. I'll do all the research. I'll test out mediums before I suggest them to you. Mediums meaning supplies. Would this work on cardboard? Would this work on paper? What kind of paper should I use this for? I'm enrolled in 2 classes right now where I'm learning new techniques. Do I have a lot of time to do it? No, I haven't yet. But this is gonna give me that time. Well, it's not going to magically give me more time, but I'm going to invest that time to learn for y'all, because I need to expand my art journey now. I have a whole wall at Brother Juniper's to fill. I have a booth that I have to fill, and you're going to be part of the art that I create for those. So some of my lives, I'll just be painting with you, just live, no charge. You'll see the whole process. I'll come on here and tell you, okay, I'm going to paint a pig for my wall at Brother Juniper's. I'm going to take you along on that. So anyway, that's where we're headed, and I hope you'll stick with me, and I hope this might even open doors for more people. If you want to share, like I said, with your friends who might be inclined to use art journaling as a therapy, share those videos. Either share my YouTube video link, it's shared there already, or my Facebook video link. And so they can start thinking about this toward March, that we're going to have this group. Do you want to start thinking towards doing that? Create an album to post your videos there too. Let me write that down. No, I need to look into that. That's a good idea. Albums, you mean okay, Lori, do you mean for these live videos? I keep my instructional videos in the group that they pertain to, like the instructional video there. I ask that you not share those because they're a paid for group. It wouldn't be fair to the people who paid. But Lori, if you want to message me and let me know what, I'm open to any and all suggestions. For instance, the Facebook business page, the way it's set up, I am not allowed to share files with you there. So like that angel wing template, I couldn't just share that file on my business page. I had to share it in Taterbug and Sweet Taterbugs, or you could message me for it and I could share it there. So there are limitations to what we who run the business pages can do and how we can organize things for you. I love that, Terry. That's so cool. You journal your house plants and I love that. Recipes, patterns, etc. Okay. Yeah. I think I could do that. I think I can. It's just, oh, Rita, I'm going to have to get my tissues out, aren't I? You're not too old, Pat. You and Judy are not. Judy has taken every class from the start. Am I right, Judy? I'm pretty sure. To watch Judy's journey, I could name off a bunch of you, and to watch how you've grown in either your lettering, your art, or both amazes me. You've got talent. All I do is bring you an idea and tell you how I taught myself to do it. I'm not a teacher, and I am not a trained artist. I don't know what I'm doing, but I've spent a lot of years learning, and the way I've learned, I had to break it down. Sometimes I'll tell you I have to trick my brain. So these might be ways that will resonate with you, and it'll click. Something will click with you. It's a one-time fee. This is not a subscription thing. None of my classes are a subscription. They're pick and choose the ones that you are interested in. I thought about doing that as a monthly subscription a year ago, and I thought, you know what? I might do a patriotic floral, and nobody's in, somebody that really signed up for the angel doesn't care about a floral. So I thought, no, I'm going to make it where they can sign up for whichever ones they want to, whenever they want to. You can still go back and sign up for all my classes. They're still in the shop. You can still pick and choose from those. Good, Betty. That's kind of what I'm learning, Sherry. In the beginning, I thought, you're a faker, Lindy. You're just, you don't know what you're doing. But none of us do. In the beginning, none of us do when we start out. You don't just suddenly start out and go, oh, I am an artist and I know what to do. And no, this is a whole process. And my style is going to be different from your style. And that's great. That fascinates me. I can't wait to see. Now, in the art journaling, some of it is very personal and private, and you wouldn't want to share it. Did I think I would be sharing that silly CamWow picture I did of myself? No. But the ones that you want to share, the simple ones, the fun ones where we're just creating backgrounds from a prompt, it's going to fascinate y'all to see how Lynn did hers and it looks like this, and Judy did hers and it looks completely different. You don't even know that it was the same prompt. Fascinating, because our brains work differently. So that's where we are, and I have talked for almost 2 hours. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for listening. I feel good about today. I hope y'all do too. And you know, if this video would help anybody you know, if you know somebody who's starting an art business and they might need to hear this, and this might give them something to, you know, some help in some way, share it. Please share it with whomever. Tell them to get in touch with me. I want to help. This is where I told God, just let me be a good steward of what you've given me, please. I don't want to fail at this. As far as when I started doing lives, this became something way bigger than earning a living to me. This became almost a ministry of sorts. So that's where I am. And that's where we're headed. If you'll hang with me, I think we're going to have a great time. And just sometimes try out some of these crazy things that I bring you, and it may resonate with you. And I'll try to bring it to you in a way that's about as free as it can be, or as very low cost as it can be, because that's what I had to do. I love y'all. I can't wait to read these comments. And I see, yes, I'm going to have a box of Kleenex with me, because I have my heart's very tender. Oh, Lynn, thank you. Lynn has been a cheerleader from way back. Photography. There was a social media site called Gather, and that was I went back. There were Yahoo groups. Can you go back that far? I still have some friends from Yahoo groups, but Lynn's followed my photography journey and the whole thing, and hung with me all this time. Ugly dolls and everything. Y'all just go eat your supper. Have a great evening. Come back tomorrow night at 5:30 for Mr. Tater Buggin's Cooking. 5 o'clock, if you didn't hear it in the beginning, 5 o'clock tomorrow, I'm loading 5 more ladder trays into our online shop that will ship out Monday. So don't miss that. Set your alarms. If you really, really, really want one real bad, set your alarm. Or get on my texting service, because I will tell you the minute they go in the shop. Okay? So I love y'all. Gonna let you go, and I'll be in the comments tomorrow night whether anybody likes it or not, because I'm getting tough that way. Bye, y'all.